Peace, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Today we're covering Sun Salutations A and B. So go ahead and get started by finding an easy seat right at the center of your mat, wherever you are. Just find a space where both sits bones can connect to the earth beneath you. Feel yourself grounding. And allow yourself to draw inward and understand that everything you've carried with you throughout your day, throughout your week, wherever you are in time and space right now, give yourself the space to turn it off, to let it go. And understand whatever you're carrying or dealing with, it'll be right there with you. So take the right hand and rest it on the belly. And then we'll take the left hand and let it rest over the heart. And feel a combination of energies right here within your very body. A raging fire in the belly, raging waters of the heart. And dwell right there within that balance. Couple more moments just for yourself right here. Now very carefully, very slowly, just go ahead and begin to make neck circles right here with the neck and the spine. And just taking the neck from forward to backward, stretching out the front of the neck, the back of the throat. Reach the chin up to the sky. And let the beauty of these neck circles be that one side might feel better than the other. One thing might feel better than the other. So give yourself the grace to linger there just a little bit longer. Oftentimes we run from self-care, but it's honestly so important. Go ahead and switch directions. Really allow yourself to feel the tension releasing from your shoulders, from the neck that you've carried with you. Realize how much you've carried with you right here with these simple neck circles. And then carefully we'll make our way back through the center. One breath here. Take one breath out. Now go ahead and turn the head to the right side. And on the right side of the body, we find an energy known as Raja, connecting us to the sun, connecting to our solar plexus. This is where we find our strength to go on, our will to fight. Notice the right side of the body. We'll make our way back through the center. And from here, we'll take ourselves over to the left side. And on the left side of the body, we find an energy known as Tamas. And Tamas connects us to the moon within us, connects us to our nurturing side, the side that we're more withdrawn or withheld from the world around us. This is where we embrace self-care. Tamas. And bring your way back through the center, keeping the eyes closed if you will. And just notice the two right there in the center where night meets day, where man meets woman, in sattva balance. Take one long, deep inhale right here in your balance. And exhale, let it go. Now go ahead and make your way onto all four at the center of your mat, stacking the shoulders over the wrists, the hips over the knees, and the ankles over the toes, only you like. We've got a few rounds of cats and cows just to bring some movement into the body. So on your next inhale, let the belly dip all the way down to the floor. The gaze will even go up to the sky or towards the ceiling. And exhale, tuck the tailbone, round out the spine, press all that stale air out of you for cat pose. Inhale back through the cow. And exhale, press it all out, press it back, right back out through the cat pose. And just connect these movements with the pacing of your own breath. So whether that means you need faster, whether you need slower, take it. It's your opportunity to be what you need for yourself. This moment isn't about anybody else, so keep connecting the two. Now add on whatever movements you need, whether you need to rock back and forward on the knees, make those neck circles, make circles with the spine, really lubricating and loosening our joints here. Make it feel good. It's something no one else can literally do for your body, so enjoy it, brothers and sisters. From here, we'll make our way through to our first downward facing dog. So walk the hands one palm print closer towards the front of the mat and tuck the toes back behind you. Shoot the hips up high to the sky. Begin to pedal it out. So think of a capital letter V with the body right here. Press the shoulders away from the ears, reach the tailbone high, and allow this to be a home base for our practice tonight. Maybe you come up onto the toes and reach the heels closer towards the floor. Press the belly towards the thighs. Let the upper body hang in gravity. Beautiful. Getting the hips over the heart is an inversion practice, so you've done your first inversion already. Look at you go. On your next inhale, just carefully tiptoe all the way back to the top of the mat here and spread the feet about hips with distance apart. Latch on to opposite elbows and just sway from side to side. We call this ragdoll pose, but it's literally letting gravity stretch the backs of the legs and stretch the lower back. It feels really good. Let the head be heavy. Shake it yes, shake it no. Sway from side to side. Switch the grip on the elbows if you haven't already. And release the hands. So we'll rise up vertebrae by vertebrae. The arms will reach out, up, and overhead. Find a long body stretch here. All four corners of the feet grounded down into the mat. Feel the earth beneath you as you stand vertically now. Reach the hands up higher, shoulders down into their sockets. Mountain pose. At the very top of your mountain, feel your strongest. And exhale, fold forward right through the center. And inhale, halfway lift. Reach the crown of the head towards the front, and the chest will reach towards the ground beneath you. And exhale, fold forward. Feel the stretch deepen. We'll root to rise one more time. Let the arms reach out, up, and overhead. Hold everything right up above you. You're strong enough to do it. And exhale, pour forward. This time, let something go on your way down. One more time around. Arms reach out, up, and overhead. Exhale, let it all go right through the center. Now inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant the palms. Step it back to a high plank pose. So rounding out through the shoulders, almost a dome within the shoulders. Keep the belly up and in. Nothing but the balls of the feet touch the floor back behind you. The core is activated right here. One solid figure. Hold yourself up. Can't let nobody do it for us. Now roll forward on the balls of the feet. And drop down into the knees the first time around or every time. If you need that added support, that's what they're made for. Hug the elbows into the rib cage. Now inhale to an upward facing dog. Press the tops of the thighs into the floor beneath you and peel the chest away from the floor. Feel that stretch along the front side of the body. Let it feel good. Sometimes you just gotta let it feel good. Beautiful. Now tuck the toes back behind you. Shoot the hips back up to the sky. Our first downward facing dog. So that is our vinyasa flow. We've got it all throughout practice. Feel free to skip them. Feel free to take one anytime you need. But we always meet right back here in down dog in our home base right here. One breath in. And take one breath out. Now roll back forward to the high plank pose and just travel back to the top of the mat. This time let the toes and heels come to touch. Bend the knees. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise. Arms reach out, up, and overhead. And take a forward fold. Beautiful work. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Now pick up the right foot. Take it all the way back towards the back of the mat. Make your way to high plank pose. And take that same vinyasa flow. Inhaling on upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Just connecting breath with movement throughout our vinyasas here. Pedal it out. Find home. Good job. This time around, go ahead and travel back to the top of the mat. All the way to the very top of the mat. And let the toes and heels come to touch this time around. Bend the knees deeper than you've bent them all day. Hips come in line with the knees eventually, and the arms sweep up and overhead for chair pose. Squeeze the thighs like crazy, so much the backs of your hips start to open. Think of a lightning bolt with the body. Take one more breath right here. Beautiful. Feel strong, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift the flat back spine, and exhale, fold forward. Now step it back to that high plank we just came from. Roll forward on the balls of the feet. Take your flow. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Now we'll add on bit by bit. We've got warrior one coming up. So go ahead and float the right leg up high to the sky, but right here, bend the knee and get the hips to stack over each other, and eventually you'll let that foot fall over to the left side of the mat. And you find yourself in a flip dog. So squeeze the glutes, reach the chest open towards the ceiling. Find a different perspective on life. Now make your way back through to a downward facing dog. Right leg reaches up high, and bring the foot all the way in between the hands at the top of the mat. The back foot spirals flat on the floor behind you. Lunge deep into that front knee. One day you'll reach 90 degrees, but if not, that's okay. It's the journey. Rise up with care, with control, with care. Shoulders down away from the ears. Feel strong. Feel powerful. They call this warrior pose for a reason. Warrior one. Connecting with the solar plexus. One more breath. And exhale, fold forward. Plant the palms, step it back to a high plank, and we take a flow. Roll forward on the balls. High plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, right back to downward facing dog. And what one side of the body gets, the other one always does. It's called balance. So left leg reaches up high to the sky this time around. And bend that knee, stack that hip, let it fall over to the right side of the mat this time around. And find yourself in a flip dog. Squeeze the glutes, open the chest up towards the sky. Feel that stretch, yes. And make your way back to a three-legged dog. Left leg reaches up high. Bring it in between the feet all the way back to the top of the mat. This time, right foot spirals flat on the floor. Lunge deep into that hip. Use the core strength to lift yourself up and off of the mat. Warrior one, left side. You might notice this side feels a little bit different. We get that all the time. We carry different energies in different sides of the body, so it's only normal for us to feel something different here. And hands come back down to the mat. Roll forward. Take your flow, high to low. Inhale to upward facing. You know where we're going from here. Tuck the toes. Down dog is where we go. Inhale, looks in between the hands. Travel all the way to the top of the mat. Back to chair pose. Sit low in the hips. Squeeze the thighs. Breathe right here. The body's warming up. Waking up that sun within the body. Beautiful job. Exhale, fold forward. Now inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Root to rise, arms sweep out, up and overhead. Long body stretch. And exhale, fold forward. Back to chair pose. Now we've got a little bit of a variation on the Sun B this time around. Just a modification. You're still doing great work here, but pick up the right leg, the left leg. Drop down onto that left knee. Lunge into that front knee. And the arms reach up and overhead for a low lunge right here. Feel the stretch on the quadricep. Open the chest. Goalpost the arms. Beautiful. Inhale, hands come back overhead. Frame the front foot. Tuck the toes back behind you. And just bring the foot up to meet the front at the top of the mat yet again. Now pick up the opposite foot. Drag it all the way to the back of the mat. Drop down onto that knee. Lunge into that hip. Arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, low lunge. Open the chest. Shine the heart to the sky. It's where you come from. Inhale, arms back up and overhead. Hands come down to frame that front foot. Tuck the toes. And bring that foot to join the left all the way at the top of the mat here. Toes and heels come back to touch one more time around. We've got chair pose. Arms back up and overhead. Maybe on your next exhale, you sit a little bit deeper. Trust yourself. Do it for yourself. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Root to rise yet again. Arms reach out, up, and overhead. Bring yourself back to that intention. Why you came to your mat in the first place. And this time around, we get to tie it all together. We know where we're going within the posture. So let's start in down dog. Travel back to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. Child is hot out here, y'all. Arms reach out, up, and overhead. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step it back to your high plank. Roll forward to your vinyasa. Take your high to low flow. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, back to down dog. Beautiful work here. Inhale, looks in between the hands. Travel back to the top of the mat. Toes and heels come to touch, chair pose. And we're right here for 5, 4. Just kidding. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step it back to your high plank. And take your vinyasa flow. Inhale to upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Now we got the warrior 1 this time around. Bend that knee, stack the hip, and flip your dog. Only if you choose to. This is all optional. I'm just here for suggestions. Make your way back to a 3-legged dog. And bring the right foot in between the hands back to the top of the mat. Rise up, warrior 1, right here. Here we go. Sink deep into that hip. Fill up with air right here. And exhale, send that air out. Make your way back to your high plank. And we're flowing it right on out. Inhale to upward facing. Exhale back to downward facing dog. We're almost there. You've got this. Left leg reaches up. Bend the knees. Stack the hips. Squeeze the glutes. Open the chest. Make your way back through the downward facing dog. And float the right leg. The left leg. I'll get it. Back in between the hands at the top of the mat. Rise up for warrior 1 on this side. Different energies on different sides. Fill up with air. Exhale. Fold forward. Take your high to low flow. You already know where to go. Bars. She got bars. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, looks in between the hands. Exhale, travel back to the top of the mat. Toes and heels come to touch. One more time around. Sit low in those hips. Squeeze the thighs. Give yourself grace right here. You've done the work just by showing up for yourself. Take a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let something go. And we'll rise up. Arms reach out, up, and overhead. Bring the hands to the heart space. Coming back to the intention you set for yourself today. Great job. Great work. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to meet in tree pose. A little bit of balancing and grounding to balance out all that energy we just stirred up within the body. So start by grounding down on the right leg here. The left leg. And you can, it's okay if you fall out. So bring the heel into the calf. Never the knee, never the ankle, but the inside of the calf here. Feel yourself grounding. Maybe you need to bring the heel into the inside of the thigh. Just never with the joint. Maybe you want a vinyasa variation. Bring the heel up to the hip and let the knee fall down with gravity. Bring the hand to the heart if you choose. Maybe you sway a little bit. Notice everything's still going on around you, but find stillness within yourself. And we'll go ahead and switch to opposite sides here. Ground down on the left side. Shake it out. Give the hip a little bit of love here. And we'll take the left foot out to the side. Maybe you find the variation you need. Maybe it's the calf. Maybe it's the thigh. Maybe it's the inside of the ankle. That's your choice and that's your business. Okay? So bring that heel up to the inside of the thigh only if you choose. I'm going to rock with that for now. And find whichever arm variation you need. Literally, the beauty of tree is to be able to find freedom. Freedom of expression. A freedom to be still. With no one here to tell you how to look or how to feel. Now from here, we've got a really big hip opener here. We've got Yogi Squat, Malasana Squat. So bring the feet wide across the mat. Think a capital letter V with the feet. And then we sit low all the way to the floor with the hips. And then press the hands into one another to help the elbows to open up the thighs. Carry so much right there in our hips. Stuff that we don't even realize we're dealing with, we store it in our hips. So I'm going to move back just a little bit so y'all can actually see my feet. Sorry. There we go. So sit low in those hips. With every inhale, breathe into the hips. And with every exhale, breathe out of the hips. Feel that tension releasing. Beautiful work. Now go ahead and drop down onto the knees just for a moment. We'll take hero's pose just to bring the hips back together, just to kind of ground ourselves from a heavy practice today. Just working through our Sun A. So bring the hands to the heart, one hand to the belly. Just a moment to check in with self. And then we'll go ahead and make our way to an easy seat. And we'll find double pigeon this time around, kind of digging into those hips just a little bit more. So stack the ankle over the knee, and then we'll stack the knee over the ankle on opposite sides. So think of a box-like figure with your knees and your feet. And this box-like figure allows the chest to open, but it allows the hips to melt into the floor beneath you even further. Now reach the arms up and overhead only if you choose. Right hand reaches back behind, and left hand just rests on the knee, but use it for leverage to inhale, lift through the chest. With every exhale, you twist, wringing out your spine. Because we all know happy spine, happy life. Beautiful. Make your way back through the center. Beautiful. Now we'll go ahead and switch on the opposite legs just for balance in the body. So stack that ankle over that knee, stack the knee over the ankle. Arms back up overhead. This time left hand comes back behind, right hand comes over the knee. Inhale, lift, and exhale, twist. We only twist on the exhales here. We're only as flexible as our exhales. Beautiful. Arms reach out, up, and overhead. And this last bit is just optional. Feel free to bring the hands out in front of you for a deeper stretch along the low back and spine. Just walking the hands out here and let the head be heavy. Beautiful. Go ahead and release. And come back to that easy seat that we started with today. And offer grace and gratitude for yourself for starting your practice, for returning to your practice. Beautiful. Be still. Feel the heart beating at the center of your chest. From here, we bring our hands to our heart center, reminding us of honor and humility, integrity in all things. We bring our thumbs to our lips, reminding us to speak kind words. And lastly, we bring our thumbs to our third eye center, reminding us to be a kind soul to this world that needs it. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today, y'all. As always, the light in me sees the light in you. Om Shanti. Namaste. Thanks for coming. Ooh, child, it's hot out here.